Hey guys, it's Captain Bone here. Today's storytime video is emotional AF. But before we get into that, make sure you subscribe for more storytime videos like the time I ate a butterfly and I got crabs from who? So, my city caught on fire and I was caught right in the middle of it. I have never felt so helpless before in my life, but I tried whatever I could to help. I do have footage, but I have to warn you, it is quite graphic, and please don't judge me for what I did. I was just trying to help. Oh God! No! Oh no! My beautiful city! My beautiful city. I'm sorry you had to see that, guys, but I think for you to really understand what happened, I have to start from the very beginning. SimCity 2000 is a city building simulator game released for computers by Maxis in 1993. SimCity 2000 is the second game in the SimCity series. You build a city from an amount of money you're given at the start and try and build and expand the city from taxes you receive. The game's difficulty is based off the amount of money you start off with at the start of the game. You can choose from $20,000, $10,000, or with a $10,000 bond that you'll need to pay back. You can also choose what year you want to start in, 1900s, 1950, or 2000. Depending what year you pick, the more items will be available to you. I started my city in the year 1900, so I had limited items, but as the years went on, new things were being invented like aeroplanes and nuclear power. You're given some land that is randomized to have hills and water for you to build your city on. The first thing you need to do is name your city Bone Vegas. Starting off, you'll need to build a power plant and some residential, commercial and industrial zones, so people can move into your city and have a place to work. Lowering taxes at the start is a good way of getting fast growth. As you go, you need to add different resources to your city like police stations, fire stations, hospitals and schools. You can even add parks, stadiums, seaports and airports to your city. Adding these will make your city more appealing and more people will want to live there. Come to the Bone Bowl and support your local team, the Spice Girls. On the toolbar there's a little box with RCI on it with green, blue and yellow bars coming out of it. These bars represent residential, commercial and industrial zones respectively. If a bar is coming out the top of the box, then you need more of these, but if a bar is coming out the bottom of the box, then you have too much of this zone. News about your city comes in the form of newspapers. These let you know about new technology, or about power plants that need to be replaced before they explode. SimCity 2000 is quite a challenging game. You need to tax your city so you can make money to expand, but you don't want to tax too high or else people won't want to live in your city. The way I played was to put the tax quite low at 3% to get people into my city. I then cranked the tax up to 15% for a few years when I was low on money. It's called economics. I learnt it from the current leaders of the world. SimCity 2000 is a good looking game, especially for 1993. It's played in isometric view, and you can rotate the view around so you can see your city at any angle. Well, any 4 angles. SimCity 2000 also has sound effects and music. The music comes and goes and is quite nice. The game can be quite relaxing and the music really fits this. But the sound effects can be a bit much and be a little loud. You use the mouse to click and drag the different zones and to place different buildings. It works well. I'd recommend using an actual mouse and a trackpad though. As you play, there's a chance of a natural disaster happening like a fire or flood, or monster attack, just like in real life. You need police and fire services to deal with these disasters. The more police and fire stations you have in your city, the more you'll have to defend and help your city. But if you just can't wait for a disaster, you can select one from the drop down menu, just like God does. I always have trouble saving my city when a disaster happens. I clearly don't handle tough situations very well. But if you like that sort of thing, then there's a scenario mode where you can pick from different scenarios where you need to stop a disaster and rebuild the city. Some of these are even based on real events like the Oakland firestorm of 1991, or the Great Flood of Davenport in 1993, or the monster destroying Hollywood in 2001. Ah, the memories. SimCity 2000 is a fun game and can be quite addictive. Stopping a disaster and rebuilding your city can be difficult, but I don't think that's a bad thing. It's just not something I'm very good at. SimCity 2000 came out on pretty much all computers at the time, and also many game consoles like the PlayStation, Sega Saturn, Super Nintendo, and even the Game Boy Advance. But I think it's played best with a mouse than a game controller. There's no true ending to SimCity 2000, but an exodus does occur after 2051, and you've constructed over 300 launch archaeologies. One takes off into space every January, so the inhabitants can start a new life on distant new worlds. But I wasn't able to reach that goal, so here's a picture of a goat. Huh? What? Oh, that was such a crazy story, eh guys? But that's just my life. Now I have to go to a wild party I was totally invited to, but I guess that's why they call me Kasper. Wait, what?